Don't hate. It seems so simple. But even today in the United States, we still have hate. If they can teach hate, we can teach understanding. The Southern Poverty Law Center says there are approximately 1,000 hate groups in the U.S. today, and many of them are using the internet to communicate their messages. For the past 40 years, Dr. Henry Oertelt has helped teach acceptance through his story and his book, An Unbroken Chain, My Journey Through the Nazi Holocaust. And now, we are making his story into a movie.
My name is Henry Oertelt. I am a survivor of the Holocaust. I was incarcerated for nearly 2 years in 5 different concentration camps. And it's a miracle, of course, for every survivor, that I survived.
Why do we need another movie about the Holocaust? As long as there are deniers, we need to continue the conversation.
There are some idiots around in this world that say that the Holocaust never happened. I wish they were right, by the way, but regretfully, they are not.
Dr. Oertelt's true story is a message of acceptance and hope. It's an adventure story that will captivate young audiences. Oertelt was a 12-year-old boy in Germany when Hitler came to power in 1933. He experienced prejudice and hate that eventually led to his being one of the last 10% of the Jewish population still living in Berlin. Henry avoided arrest by the Gestapo until 1943, when at age 22, he began his amazing saga of surviving 5 Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz, in 18 cliff-hanging events until his liberation outside of Flessenburg on a death march. These 18 events make up Oertelt's unbroken chain. Chai in Hebrew, the number 18 is very special because it also means life and is considered a lucky number. We asked Henry which of his 18 links was the most important.
The seemingly least important link is as important as the seemingly most important link, because either one of them would be destroyed, the whole chain would be gone, and it means I would be gone.
Oertelt's story is different than other Holocaust stories in that it's not violent.
I saw butcherings of various forms and stuff like that of human beings. And I purposely didn't write this in the book. As I say, I saw so many of that stuff that I could write a separate book about that even. But I didn't want to, because I was expecting that, and hoping actually, that this book will be used in schools and universities, particularly for younger students yet.
In his story, he shares how a Nazi foreman helped him escape the Gestapo, how he used to remove his yellow star to move around the city freely, that he was incarcerated with his older brother Kurt. Once they performed in a choir in Theresienstadt, the VIP camp, which was used in a Nazi propaganda film. Henry's brother married his fiancée in that concentration camp. They all survived. Henry tells of lighter moments, including a time when they stole tomatoes while working in a field under Nazi watch.
We noticed that they don't frisk you between the legs. And so the only thing was that you could probably hide those tomatoes between your legs. And we had a rag with us, prepared for that, with a couple of safety pins.
And he tells about a Nazi doctor who operated on him and saved his life. His story has a happy ending. Henry immigrated to the U.S. with his new wife, Inga, and their daughter, Steffi, and went on to have a son, David.
Henry and I, we were all alone, and we somehow created our own family.
Yeah.
Today, 88-year-old Henry and Inga have been married 62 years and have 4 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Amen. For 40 years, Henry has been lecturing to students, teachers, and organizations about his message of hope.
Because we talked about it, our chances of survival. And if we have any doubts about it, we would talk each other out of it. And so we really retained and nurtured our optimism.
Dr. Oertelt participated in Steven Spielberg's Shoah Foundation. His story was one of 5 highlighted from nearly 52,000 testimonies in an online exhibit called Surviving Auschwitz. He's the recipient of 3 honorary doctorate degrees. Henry is involved in the making of the film and its marketing, and even contributes to our blog.
And I always feel if I reach one person that way out of hundreds, my job is done.
We want to reach many more people with this important, true story of acceptance and hope. There were 6 million Jewish victims in the Holocaust. Coincidentally, we need to raise $6 million to make this film. And that's how 6 Million for 6 Million was born. Even if we only raise $1 a person, we will consider this a successful project. We want to illustrate just how enormous the number 6 million really is. You can be a link in our Unbroken Chain. If you donate high, you become a link to our Unbroken Chain and will be listed in our film credits. So, be a mensch, perform a mitzvah, and participate in Tikkun Olam. Visit our website at 6m46m.org and spread the word.